Rsquare Media is an award-winning online reputation management and reputation repair services firm. The company was founded in 2012 by Rajiv Jadhav. Company headquarters are located in the Bronx, New York. The company has offered remote global internships to people from all over the US and multiple countries since 2014. This has led to a large diversity in Rsquare's interns. We want to know what it's been like for them interning with the company. To do this, we pulled a few aside and asked them some questions to get to know them better and what they thought of the company. What makes a good leader or manager?
I think it depends on the person because everyone has a different style of leadership and how they are. Uh, Me personally, I think the best leader is someone who is able to take feedback from their team and is always on hand to answer their questions.
I'd say being connected with your team, knowing the people that you're working with and the people that you need stuff from, because then you can you can make decisions better. You can expect them to do stuff if you know what's going on. Then it's easier to motivate them.
Well, that you have to love what you do. You have to have inspiration. It's sort of like Rajiv. He has that inspiration. And I think that's why I like our square so much, is because he shows us, hey, you know, the sky's the limit. You guys have, open to design. You don't have to be confined into this little bit. Yes, there might be a little bit of constraints, but that good leadership is really um, it goes by you having the passion to do it, to actually innovate others and to aspire others.
I think someone who definitely takes the time to listen, has empathy, would be a great leader just because you never know who you're working with and what needs that they have. So being that person that they can approach and also listening and taking the time to care for their needs is like the role of a great leader.
A good example will be Kendall. I personally think that a good leader is someone that communicates well, and then if you have any questions, you can always go to them, and then they'll be there to help you out and guide you through different things and won't leave you feeling confused. And as I've mentioned, I believe a good example will be someone like Kendall, which is one of our project managers. She is a very good communicator, and she also replies pretty quickly when you have any problems. And she also knows how to help you reach out to different people if you are afraid to reach out to them in order to get things done. And also, she's just very supportive and just never mad at you for making mistakes, which I think it's a trait that a good leader need, which is being understanding and considerate of anyone's situation.
What novel or movie character do you most relate to?
Hmm. I'll go anime because I'm kind of an anime fan on this. So I would say, let's say, let me think. I would say Tanjiro from Demon Slayer, just because of the hard work that he puts and like through like despite all the negative things, he just pushed himself to be better and just going hard no matter what, right? And I would say that's a good mindset in life as well. No matter what life throws at you, despite how painful or hurtful, whatever it may be, like, hey, get back up and keep pushing and get stronger. So I think Tanjiro from Demon Slayer would definitely be.
That's a hard one. Um, I would say because it's one of my favorite books, but Joanna from the Hunger Games, I really love like kind of her energy and her spark and like her like willingness to like not listening to what other people says and like following her own ideas, I would say.
I've actually never thought of this. This is gonna take me a second. Oh God. Maybe I would do just because I watched Inside Out 2 yesterday, maybe I would do Joy, just because I feel like I'm kind of outgoing, and especially if I'm around like people that I know, I try to be like enthusiastic and positive about everything. So maybe I would do joy. And also, in some ways, I feel like I like things to go a certain way, which I feel like joy would. So that kind of resonates with me as well.
I guess um I'm kind of similar to Crane from the Kung Fu Panda series because he's usually very calm in um different situations, and then if there's a fight breaking out or an argument, he would be um in the neutral party and doesn't take sides because he didn't want to get into trouble with different parties. I'm similar to it at some sense because I don't really like to be in an argument because I know that taking sides will often lead to something even worse because um you know both parties, and if you take one side, people would just think that, oh, you are being unfair to me, and if you don't, people would just think that um you're being unreasonable. So staying neutral in this kind of situation kind of just make things work and they wouldn't bother you too much. And also because I'm the kind of person that likes to chill in my own free time. So I kind of relate to Crane a lot in Kung Fu Panda, where he's just chilling when everyone else is doing some insane and adventurous things.
Probably Wonder Woman. And I say that because like a lot of times I tend to surprise myself on like what I'm capable of doing because I know I'm capable of a lot, but like it just kind of surprises me when I'm able to like learn like new things. I don't know. Plus I just love Wonder Woman. She's one of my favorite superheroes.
If you could thank someone for helping you to become the person you are today, who would it be?
My husband, of course, my dad, uh, also, who have taught me how to study, but pursuing the career with the kids, without his help, I wouldn't be here. So I would say my husband.
Of course, I would say my mom, honestly. Might be a basic answer, but I would really kind of uh, my mom has kind of helped me with everything, like to get to who I am today, like personality wise. I'm very much like my mom, especially with like outgoingness. And I really like that about myself, I guess. So I really want to say thanks to her. And also, of course, like with just supporting me, giving me the resources that I have today. I'm very grateful for her for that. And also to all of my family, to be honest. But yeah, especially my mom.
I think it would probably be the team around me at Rsquare because they were always the ones who were always able to answer my questions. They were always the one who helped me with any assignments that I was working on. They always were able to give me the support that I needed at the moment.
Okay, I'll start with my mom for like teaching me how to be like hardworking, independent, not depending on anyone, working hard. So I'll say my mom, she has been the biggest inspiration, not just bringing me to this world, but also like teaching me the right things. Then I would say a very, very good friend of mine. His name is Khalid. So he's the reason why I got to know about tech, like going into the tech field, like push, because I doubted myself and I thought that, okay, this is something that I will not be able to do, but he told me that I could do it. And because of him, I was able to explore, learn different sides of myself that I didn't know I had. And now I would say I'm doing great. I'm getting like more exposed and I feel confident. So I would say my friend Khalid. So these two people.
Oh gosh. I mean, I guess I would say I have so many people. I guess I would say my husband and also my mother, my family in general, just with things that have happened, whether it's good or bad, has shaped who I am today and how I carry myself and how I look at the world, whether it's, positive, black or white or gray and in between, and basically learning lessons from them that's like, okay, I don't want to do that. So that has really helped me shape myself as well in what not to do versus what to do. So I guess my family is what I have to say. I can't really pinpoint one person in any of that.
Where do you think you would be working or interning if you weren't at Rsquare Media?
So I chose this over a position doing some sort of social media marketing for like a Quizlet killer sort of website that used AI and sort of adaptive memory techniques to help people study, which was cool. But I think this is a lot cooler, a lot more industry exposure for stuff that I'm looking to do and stuff that I'm looking forward to actually working on.
I would probably say some type of fashion brand just because I'm really into fashion and like kind of like my dream career would be like working in fashion marketing. So definitely something like a course or like Coach or just like any other like fashion brand or like handbag brand is like kind of what I would go for.
Probably doing something like myself, like freelance. I've always almost everything I've done in the past has been some kind of freelancing or contractor work. And so it was most likely in that space, let's say SEO or PPC, most likely freelancing with like, local clients or online of like either running their marketing, like their ads or their SEO or things of that sort. So I would say something like that, most likely some type of like freelancer, maybe even like forming an agency, but definitely freelancer for sure.
Okay, so before I joined Rsquare Media, I was in this non-profit mental health organization called the Mindful Youth. They were always having like internship programs every semester, and they are always looking for students to help them with uh, social media and creating content for mental health awareness. And if I'm not with Rsquare Media, I would probably go back to helping the organization because I think that's a good cause to help with teenagers nowadays, where sometimes you feel that your mental health is not seen by the adults, and I think that's just something that we should all help to do. So yeah, that'll be what I'm doing.
Well, if I wasn't interning at Rsquare Media right now, I would probably still be looking for work, even though this is like currently this is the only internship I've been able to get since I just got out of school, and most places look for like certain amount of experience, which I don't have. But so I mean, this is like I'm glad that I was able to get this internship, even though coming into it, I had no idea how to do anything social media content related. So it definitely is like a big change, but it's a really good experience and everybody is super duper welcoming.
What drew you to Rsquare Media? How did you find yourself at the company?
Rsquare Media, I do writing the most, but I've actually the few months I've spent with Rsquare Media, I've learned a lot. Like I feel like I'm gaining the confidence in social media marketing because before I used to feel like I cannot do anything in social media marketing. But the few months and the team I have around me in Rsquare Media, it's a great team.
Through the LinkedIn, and it's a great platform. I mean, Rajiv oh man, he's incredible, and he gives chance to explore, and I don't think anywhere else we can do whatever we want. Like he lets us do, like, okay, you like this? Okay, go ahead and explore. Okay, even if he doesn't take it, he lets everyone to talk. Or I found this as an incredible opportunity to explore wherever, even if I'm not in designing. If I give an input to the designing or writing the script or the content, he gives whole freedom. That's what I love about this Rsquare.
Always wanted to get into marketing ever since I was in college and stuff. I had a little marketing class. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to get into this. And I was just on LinkedIn scrolling for hours. Just found Rsquare. I was like, oh, might as well.
What drew me to Rsquare Media was the fact that it's an internship and a mentorship. It's a stress-free environment. Everybody is super welcoming, and like if you have questions or need feedback, there's always somebody there available to give that to you, no matter like what time zone that they're in. Everybody's super like punctual, and it's just a great atmosphere to be in.
Put in an application, and I had a doctor's appointment and missed my interview, and I felt really bad, and I was like, man, I really want to get in there. And so I did another interview, and then Rajiv just did an interview like over LinkedIn, and then he's like, okay, pick a day, and we went. And then so that's kind of how everything happened. But I just knew that what he shows and how his accomplishments are, that drew me to Rsquare. Because who has a CEO that goes to daily meetings? And that right there is an experience all in itself, because that's unheard of, to have a CEO being in every meeting, which is awesome. Like I said, it inspires, and I do agree with what he is. And his mission is to, innovate minds to make them better, make this place a better world. And I think he's on the right track on it.
What is it like interning from your home, city, state, or country?
In my home country, yeah, if you're doing interns like you're working already, you'll go, it's going to be like on site, and then you'll be going there normally like any other worker there. And most cases, if it is time for intern, we don't attend school, so that's why they always put the internship during when we are in the holidays of the school. So because you have to work like a normal worker to do the internship.
I mean, there's a like 7-hour time difference, and when I wake up in the morning, there's a lot of messages, a lot of tasks that have been assigned, have been done by others that I wasn't, I didn't know about them. So that's a little bit annoying, but besides from that, everything is fine.
Oh, I'd say the time zone difference is the largest thing. Everyone or most of the people on the East Coast are, doing their noon meetings, and I'm really just getting up, starting my day, and checking in with the guys. I honestly like that because I don't really do a whole lot of stuff that could then be sort of redirected or be told, hey, go in a different direction with this. I can really start the day off with some guidance and some direction, and then have the whole workday to build upon sort of what we talked about in the morning, which I do enjoy. As far as you know, the environment of being in Oregon for the summer. I'd say it's nice to have some nature to go outside and decompress in. You know, the flexible work schedule is good for that. Go on some walks, go on some trips to the river. You know, it's 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 a good setup. I'm enjoying it. And I'm glad that I'm doing it this way because taking this from a poorly air conditioned studio apartment in New York would be not as pleasant. Both from, you know, sort of the environment and also like just temperature wise.
So back in my home country, we don't have a lot of remote opportunity. So most of the time, if you have an internship, you are required to go to the office, and then it's the typical 8 to 5 or 9 to 6. And sometimes we could go overtime, and then our overtime is usually not paid, which is a difference in work culture compared to the internship in United States. And then what I noticed the difference between the different scheduling stuff is that I think American companies are more flexible in terms of guests, like scheduling your work and even your timing. And then you just don't talk about work after getting off work. But then in my country, we kind of make it all about our work life even after getting off work, which sometimes can be very stressful because you might want to rest, and then your manager will be texting you and calling you about a project that you have to deal with. So that can be very frustrating sometimes, but then that's just the difference in culture. So yeah.
I'm really grateful that Rsquare Media is like very, very flexible. So we have different working shifts. So at first it was hard for me to like adjust, because sometimes I'll be like, I'll work from this time to this time, and then I will forget that maybe it will be night for me, but morning there. So like when I'm supposed to be sleeping, I'm actually meant to be working. But I had to get used to it. I had to plan my time to know that, okay, during my own daytimes, I'm going to do the hard stuff. And when it's late, even if it's early in the other side, I know, okay, this is my own time to clock out, but I'll take in easy stuff that I can quickly do and be ready for the next thing. So I think I've mastered it. I want to say really mastered, but like I feel like I've gotten the hint of how to manage it. Yeah.
How do other places you have worked at or interned for compare to Rsquare Media?
A remote internship too. It was Michael Animation Studio here in Grand Rapids, and it was during COVID times. So I mean, there's a lot of comparisons, like the workload is pretty steady. Like they're pretty flexible on like due dates for things. And the only thing I didn't like about my other internship is we didn't have as many like other interns for me to get feedback from. I always had to rely on the coordinator, and sometimes he wasn't always available, so that was a little frustrating. So it's nice like that Rajiv is always like, even if he doesn't respond right away, he always responds in a timely fashion. If I can't get to him, then there's other people like that I can get my questions answered too.
So I used to work in the dining department in my university, and compared to Rsquare Media, my dining workplace is super fast paced and very tightly packed in the sense of scheduling. So for Rsquare Media, you get to do your own tasks at your own pace, and then you don't necessarily have a deadline that's super tight, and you most of the time you could just chill and you get things done without stressing it out. But then working at my workplace, I have to constantly deal with customers, and then I basically don't get the time to rest because you just have to keep preparing food and then cleaning the kitchen and things like that. And then also most of the time after finishing work, you get so tired to the point that you don't have any time to do your thing, just want to go to sleep. But with Rsquare, you have enough work-life balance, which I really appreciate. So I could always do things that I like in my free time.
This has both a lot more sort of creative freedom, which I enjoy, but also more direction, which is also good. I think that it's difficult for a lot of people, myself included, to excel in a place where there's a lot of creative freedom, but not a lot of direction, or a lot of direction, but not a lot of freedom. And I think this is a good mix of the both because yeah, I can put my own twist and my own spin on stuff. I can sort of take passion in what I'm doing and add my own spice to things. But at the end of the day, the weekly or the daily meetings are a good way to get a touch base sort of, how is this doing? Do you like this? What should I be doing differently? Which is really helpful for interns because, just really learning and feeling things out and seeing how things are going and if that's the right way to be doing stuff. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one internship in high school when I really liked finance at a bank. So obviously that does not compare. This is obviously way more creative and stuff, but because I used to want to go into finance. But then I got back into my roots and kind of more of entertainment industry is a lot better.
Well, I worked at a school for toddlers. I taught them English. So that was not fun at all. And the manager wasn't clear on my tasks, so I didn't know what to do and what needs to be done. And after that, I've been working on pharmacy. It's been a great experience, but some of the customers are not really fun. And, I'm giving them medicine and they don't know me and they don't trust me, so they don't behave correctly to me.
A lot of the internships that I've kind of done before were school related. So those ones were in person. So of course, comparing in person and remote, that's super different. Um, I really like how remote it allows different people from different parts of the world to combine and work together. And otherwise, if I didn't have this internship, I would have never met any of the team members that are outside of the US or even let alone outside of my city. So that's really great. For the previous internships I had, I did a lot of hands-on designing and collaborative work. So when it came to printing out designs, I made stickers and pins, and that was where I really got to feel what I was doing and actually use the machines to get these things done. So it's very different, but both internships have really allowed me to learn a lot.
Cannot compare both the workplaces. Both are unique at their own paces. But if you really wanted me to compare, there I have learned artificial intelligence where I don't have an opportunity to learn here, where the future it is that. And here I have more opportunity to explore myself, and I have freedom to talk and research more.